So I have with me now Mr. Sharif Al Olama, Under Secretary of the Ministry of Energy and Infrastructure. Welcome to this interview. Let's start by ADIPEC this year. There's huge attendance. What's new on the table?
Mariam, honestly, it's a pleasure to see us going back to normal. Yes, last year we had ADIPEC, but you could tell that the impact of COVID was still hovering around. People were still wearing masks, people were still having some sort of safety distance, but today you see business as usual. ADIPEC is back. I hear we have almost 150,000 attendees, 350 sessions, 1,200 speakers, 40 plus ministers, so it's a pleasure and a beautiful sight for sore eyes to see us getting back into business.
Let's talk a little bit about technology and how is it evolving nowadays, and what is the ministry doing to help UAE achieve its goals?
As was mentioned in today's ministerial session and the opening remarks by His Excellency Dr. Sultan and His Royal Highness Prince Abdulaziz. One of the biggest challenges that we see is the development of technology. We know today that we are facing two major challenges. One is energy security and the other is the climate impact. How do you balance between both? For me, the solution is in advancing technology. Let's talk about some examples. If we talk about how do we reduce emissions while still maintaining the global need for additional sources of energy, we talk about hydrogen. Hydrogen today, when you compare it to your normal fuel, is anywhere between 3 to 5 times more expensive. How can you bring that cost down? Technology. Electrolyzers are very limited in numbers. We need to expand, we need to create the demand, and we need to scale up that technology so that to reduce the cost of hydrogen. This is just a simple example. And this is what really ADIPEC brings to the table. You have everybody over here. You have the policymakers, you have the big companies, you have the technology providers, you have the thinkers. You get them all into one place, and I'm really hopeful that at the outcome of this ADIPEC, there will be a lot of solutions, there will be a lot of partnerships that are going to be formed, and there will be some solutions that are going to be coming our way.
How can we look at the equation of security, sustainability, affordability, and this is the big title of ADIPEC this year. Is it difficult? How can we look at it?
It's very interesting. I'll just give you my perspective of the subject. When I first came to the ministry 3 years ago, and I was having discussions with my counterparts in other countries, there were certain countries that would not even talk about anything but, let's say, green hydrogen. So, i.e. just looking at the sustainability side. These same countries today are burning coal. So it just shows you that, you have these three main pillars that you cannot do away with one. Energy security, energy affordability, and energy sustainability. Affordability is a major topic. It's like the big elephant in the room that nobody wants to talk about. I gave you the example of hydrogen. If you go and you implement hydrogen across the board and somebody has to pick up the bill, who is it going to be? Is it the end user, the normal people that actually pay the bills, the electricity bills, or is it governments that subsidize? Neither one is a sustainable solution. So that's where what we talked about is technology plays a big role. Technology has to kick in. We need to support it with the proper regulations, legislations, and policies. And that's how we can win, all of us.
When the ministry wants to set targets or put strategies in place, what are the main challenges you guys look at nowadays? Did it change from previous years?
Definitely. We launched our energy strategy back in 2017. Very simply, back then, if my memory serves me correct, your typical solar kilowatt hour was around $5.6. Today in Abu Dhabi, Al Dhafra project, $1.35. So it has developed. So renewable energy has developed significantly. Now it is in abundance and it is cheap. So this is one major change. The other change, of course, as you are aware, the Hasyan project we have in Dubai, there was a strategic decision that was taken to go from coal to natural gas. There are new players. We have the waste to energy plant in Sharjah, Bia and Masdar, 30 megawatts of power from waste. 3 new projects that are underway right now, 2 in Abuظبي and the biggest waste to energy project in Dubai, all coming on board. Plus, on top of that, we have our nuclear plant, Baraka, and put into the mix of all of that, hydrogen. 7 projects that are currently underway in the UAE. So the energy mix is there. We are working on all fronts. We are trying to support all stakeholders over here. The challenge is there. You can only do so much as a country. There has to be a global effort because you can meet your targets, but if you meet your targets and all the remaining of the world doesn't, then we don't do much. So there has to be a global joint effort in terms of what we're driving at.